Hey dude, as a guy who's been critical of Mr. Enter and this Indiegogo campaign, you're going way over the line. I get playful jabs, but I think the line for that is drawn a long ways before calling someone a pedophile. I'm slowly losing respect for Turkey Tom. I still think he is young, so he should get more room for apology as a minor, but yeah, his window of what is just a joke and what is pushing things too far is warped. I think he takes too much inspiration from Leafy, which is not good. Fantastic, man! Do yourself a favor and unsubscribe!
You should have gone for the head.
Why do some YouTubers turn into assholes when they become famous? Let's face it, YouTube fame is alluring for most YouTubers. Who doesn't want to be the next PewDiePie, the next Markiplier, the next Jenna Marbles, the next Smosh, etc.? While there are some YouTubers that manage to remain humble in spite of all their success, there are others that get way too popular way too quickly and don't know how to handle it. Case in point, Turkey Tom. Turkey Tom recently made a video lambasting the lawn-abused dead horse known as the mysterious Mr. Enter, more specifically his Indiegogo campaign for his passion project, Growing Around. In that video, Tom blatantly calls Enter a pedophile, but if you couldn't tell based on the monotone and deadpan delivery, it's just a joke, bro.
I have a feeling that Enter's idea of a thank you video was him stripping down nude and sending people pictures of his little Johnny to the kids who pay money to see his show. Here's a comic that one of Enter's artists made for the show. I guess this is like Ben 10 now with those eyes, I guess. Mr. Enter is in the show. I didn't realize that he would be living in the same place as children. Make sure you lock your doors, kids, or John might come in and show you his erect atrocity.
To say the joke didn't go over well would be the understatement of the 21st century. Several people expressed their distaste over Tom's pedo joke, including the two individuals I spotlighted in the intro. And what was Tom's response to these two individuals telling him that his Enter pedo joke was going too far? He told both of them to unsubscribe from his channel. What he's basically saying is, who gives a fuck what you think? Your opinion doesn't matter. If you want to know the quickest way to alienate your audience, this is how you do it. This is a terrible way of dealing with criticism. Take it from Papa Douglas. If someone criticizes you, there are 1,000 better ways to respond than telling them to unsubscribe, because when you do that, it gives everybody the impression you're a hypocritical dolt with an ego complex the size of Morrissey. It's not a good look in the slightest when you make videos criticizing other people and you can't handle criticism yourself. To be fair to Tom, he would later apologize for this on Twitter and acknowledge that calling Enter a pedo was going way too far. I understand that he's 16 and has plenty of time to mature, and if this was a one-time mistake, I wouldn't be making this video, but as we all know, it wasn't, and because of that, I'm not letting Tom off the hook. This is merely the first sign that YouTube fame has claimed another victim, and in the case of Tom, there are a few other deadly symptoms that contribute to my belief that he's let YouTube fame go to his head. Tom doesn't have a filter, which is both a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing in the sense that he's not afraid to express his honest opinion, but it's also a curse because he has a tendency to say something without even thinking about it. He'll just say whatever comes out of his mouth, which can sometimes result in him saying some really dumb shit.
As it turns out, Digi here is a self-admitted and proud lover of children, or as he calls it, a lolicon. Essentially what this means is that he is sexually attracted to lollies, or little anime girls, something which he seems to proudly state considering that he posts about it so often on his Twitter, and actively defends pedophilia as if it is okay and should be accepted by society. I don't really feel the need to explain how disgusting this is, because nobody in their right mind should be okay with fucking children, or even thinking about fucking children. And maybe you're going to say, oh, well, it's not really pedophilia. pedophilia. He's just attracted to them in anime. No, there's no difference. If you want to fuck kids, you want to fuck kids. There's no gray area or nuance with this shit. He's fucking repulsive, and no matter how much YMS, the gay furry, defends his actions, that will not change the fact that Digi is a pedophile.
And no matter how much YMS, the gay furry, defends his actions, that will not change the fact that Digi is a pedophile.
And no matter how much YMS, the gay furry, defends his actions, that will not change the fact that Digi is a pedophile.
How is YMS a gay furry, and most importantly, how do you know that he would defend Digibro? Some context and evidence would have been nice so that people didn't get the impression you were just talking out of your ass and making things up to make someone you don't like look bad. Tom, from one YouTuber to another, let me give you some advice free of charge. If you're going to accuse someone of defending a person who, by their own admission, is into illustrations of little girls getting fucked, and who may or may not be a pedophile, then you better make sure you actually have the evidence to back that up. Also, where the hell is the context? Is Adam friends with Digibro? And if he is, why would he defend Digibro's lolicon obsession? But apparently, according to Tom, Adam commenting "yup" on one of Digibro's videos is totally proof that he is a lolicon apologist, which is so hilariously stupid that it makes Patrick Star look like Rick Sanchez. Seriously, that is so stupid that it's practically the equivalent of claiming someone gave you herpes over the internet, even though it is physically impossible. To be honest, this was just a dumb potshot at a bigger YouTuber for allegedly supporting a lolicon enthusiast that's disguised as a dumb joke. This is the second deadly symptom of YouTube fame. Some YouTubers will deliberately leave out context and evidence to make the person they're lambasting look bad, or to be more technically accurate, the internet equivalent of Adolf Hitler, because they genuinely think nobody will notice. Speaking of context, let's talk about the Speechy situation. In his video on Speechy, Tim Tom, and Tabs, he mentioned that he joined Speechy's Discord server and claimed he was banned for no reason, specifically using it as an example of her not taking criticism well. There was only one problem with that. Tom told a little fable tale, which is a fancier way of saying he lied. YouTube commentator Manga Common made a video titled How to Lie by Omission, where he criticized Tom for omitting the reason why he was banned from Speechy's server. The real reason he was banned was because he tweeted at her weeks earlier calling her fat and comparing her to the Michelin Man. Understandably, she was pissed, and when he reared his ugly head into her Discord server, he was banned instantly. The reason I'm telling you this is because Tom conveniently left it out of his video to make Speechy look even worse than she already is, and to portray himself as a victim. You guys know that I'm not the biggest Speechy fan. However, with that being said, I personally disagree with insulting someone based on their looks and appearance, because it's an incredibly lame way of insulting someone. There are many legitimate criticisms you can level against Speechy. Making fun of her for being overweight is not one of them. That's not criticism, you're just being an asshole. My issue isn't that Tom called her fat. My issue is that Tom called her fat and lied about it. If you want to call someone fat and say they're a combination between a tub of lard and the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man from Ghostbusters, that's fine, but at least be honest about it. All you had to say was, the reason I got banned from Speechy's Discord server was because I called her fat and compared her to the Michelin Man. Sure, you would have been an asshole, but at least you would have been an honest asshole. And that's the main reason he left that out of his video, because he knew if he brought it up, he wouldn't be the victim in all of this, so he was intentionally dishonest because he knew his audience would be so caught up in the Speechy hate bandwagon that they wouldn't notice that he was lying to them. Now ain't that a tale as old as time? He posted a comment on Manga Common's video apologizing for the whole ordeal. He stated that he knew his tweet calling Speechy fat was mean the moment he posted it, and that he was trying out an edgy troll persona that didn't work. If you're unfamiliar with that apology, it's because it comes straight from the non-existent book How to Apologize Like a YouTuber for Dummies. Let's make one thing clear. Tom didn't apologize because he was legitimately sorry for what he said. He apologized because he got caught. If Manga Common hadn't made his video, I can guarantee you he wouldn't have apologized. He would have stood behind what he said about Speechy, and no one would be the wiser. We've gone through 3 deadly symptoms of YouTube fame so far, but the 4th and final one is something that irritates me to no end. The odd ones out can't take criticism is what you would say if that were actually true. The title of Tom's video makes you believe that James is on the same level as Tim Tom, Tabs, and Speechy in terms of not accepting criticism well. Not only is that complete bullshit, but he's barely even in the video at all.
A few select storytime channels that are casting a rather negative light on the genre as a whole, for example, Speechy, TimTom, and Tabs, are not open to criticism, which I find very odd, because James follows channels like LS Mark who have been very critical of storytime channels, and despite them all looking up to him and admiring him, and constantly putting him in the tags of their videos, none of them really seem to understand how he feels in regards to criticism, and none of them seem to be able to accept it themselves. In short, they are pussies.
So, you acknowledge that he can take criticism, but you still put him in the title to make people believe he couldn't so you could get more views based on the fact The Odd Ones Out is in the title. After all, the video's titled Criticism Not Welcome. This is YouTube in 2018. Isn't it wonderful? This right here is a very sneaky and underhanded tactic some YouTubers use to trick you, the viewing audience, into watching their videos, because it's a cheap and lazy way to get unearned views. Why rely on your own talent when you can just use clickbait to get people to watch your videos? It's not like he tripped, fell, landed on his keyboard, and accidentally typed The Odd Ones Out in the title. He knew exactly what he was doing and didn't care. He was making James look bad because he was more concerned with being manipulative and misleading rather than being honest. And what makes this situation even more frustrating is that the video was actually good. His criticisms against TimTom, Tabs, and Speechy were absolutely spot on, and Tom in general is an incredibly talented content creator, so it's all the more frustrating when he has to resort to clickbait. But hey, the algorithm is screwing over content creators left and right, so Tom has to do whatever he can to get people to watch, even if it makes James look like the YouTube equivalents of Katherine Heigl and Butch Hartman. I'm willing to bet that because I've brought all of this up, he'll post a comment apologizing for this, which will be more hollow and meaningless than most SoundCloud rappers. I could go on about this for hours, but we're running out of time, so let's just recap. The 4 deadly symptoms of YouTube fame are an inability to take criticism, intentionally cutting out context and evidence, fake apologies, and misleading clickbait. A YouTuber having one of these traits is bad, but if they have all 4, it's pretty much over. There's no hope in saving them. You would be better off metaphorically taking them out back like Old Yeller and metaphorically putting them down. Look, Turkey Tom, this is gonna hurt me more than it hurts you, so... You got any last words?
I have a feeling that Enter's idea of a thank you video was him stripping down nude and sending people pictures of his little Johnny to the kids who pay money to see his
Oh, shut up. I can only see Turkey Tom's beautiful lasers ending in one of 2 ways. He either becomes one of the biggest commentators on YouTube, or he implodes in violent fashion like Leafy is here. There's no telling how Tom's career will play out in the next few years, but if he allows YouTube fame to corrupt him and he turns into a cocky and egotistical asshole, he might just alienate his audience completely and tank his career like Leafy, like Onision, like Mundane Matt, like DSP. Or maybe he learns how to handle his fame as he grows older. I don't know what will happen. I can't predict the future. What do I look like, Raven Baxter? I'm just some dumb 24-year-old from Canada who makes videos for the entertainment and validation of others to cure his crippling depression. Thank you guys so much for watching the pilot of How to Alienate Your Audience. I really hope you enjoyed it. This show has been a labor of love from its conception to the finalized version of this pilot, and I hope you have as much fun watching it as I did making it. I've got a ton of ideas for future episodes of How to Alienate Your Audience ready to go, so expect a lot more videos on audience alienation in the weeks, months, and years to come. As always, if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel because I have many more awesome videos just like this one. Also, don't forget to hit the bell icon so you'll be notified every time I post a new video. With all that being said, this is ThatKidDouglas, aka the Unhero, signing out. Deuces, stay frosty and keep it weird. Cueing super awesome outro sequence now.